What's going on? So it's been a long minute since I've updated you guys, and it's just been a long road. So I just kind of wanted to just tap in with you to update you on what I have going on since my last video. And my last video, as you saw, it was my anatomy scan, and my fibroids have gotten bigger since then. They told me that I would have ultrasounds every 4 weeks, which I've gotten one since that video, and my fibroid didn't get any bigger from the 10 centimeters, which was good. Right after that appointment, I ended up going back to work because, when you're home, you just be bored, and I just said, listen, I'm about to go back to work. So I went back to work 4 days, 3 days, and somewhere within those 3 days, I caught COVID. So with COVID, it was a Saturday the 12th, as a matter of fact. I just wasn't feeling well. I felt like I was sick, and I usually don't even get sick. So I felt like I was sick. I ended up doing a virtual visit. The doctor said, hey, take a COVID test. I took one at home. It was negative. She said, wait 2 weeks, 2 days. I took it on that Monday, and it ended up coming back positive. During the course of that time, I didn't feel the baby kick, literally, like, at all. And the baby's usually always kicking. So I went to the ER. She told me to go to the ER. I went to the ER. I ended up getting they ended up doing a chest x-ray, and they ended up monitoring the baby's heartbeat. So although she wasn't kicking, she was in there alive and well, which was good news. However, for me, dealing with this COVID, they could do absolutely nothing for me. They was just like, here's this asthma pump. Go home and take Tylenol, which I had already been taking Tylenol. They said take some Robitussin, regular Robitussin. I was home dying. My chest was hurting. I could barely breathe. It just was a whole mess. So I didn't take anything. I just kind of it just passed. Took a good little while for it to pass, but it did pass. And I want to say the outcome from that, I do have shortness of breath, which I explained to the doctor, hey, since I've had COVID, I've been feeling shortness of breath, basically doing little things, whether it be walking, whether it be going up the steps, whatever. I have shortness of breath. He said sometimes with COVID patients, it can be a month, it can be a three months, it can be a year for recovery. So that's kind of normal. All right, cool. So outside of that, I returned back to work. Honestly, I think I went to work for a couple days and going for a couple days. Just this past Thursday, I was at work doing a double, and when I tell you I couldn't get comfortable, I felt like the baby was just in there doing a lot, and I couldn't get comfortable for some reason. The uncomfortability turned into pain, and the pain was a gradual pain. It was really, it wasn't really there. It wasn't present really, and then it just came out of nowhere. It was just gut punching. It hurt to sit, it hurt to stand, it hurt to move, it hurt to touch my stomach. It just hurt. I was in so much pain that I had to leave work early and try to get my life together. So I was going to go to the ER. And so instead of going to the ER, I said, okay, let me call to speak to a nurse to see if I can, what their recommendation is. Because every time I have to go to the hospital, the ER, and I don't get admitted, it's $200 for a copay. So I just wanted to talk to the nurse. But they were like, oh, we have telemed appointment available in 15 minutes. You can do that. So in the process of all that telemed, waiting and all that stuff like that, I was in there waiting. I had done took off my clothes, which was painful. I done got in bed. I was huddled up with this pregnancy pillow, and when I tell you this was like the pain. So I started timing it because the doctor didn't come on right away. Every 6 minutes, it was like gut punching. So basically, I was having contractions every 6 minutes. I tried to explain to him what the situation was. He was like, listen, I can't really give you any real medical advice over this computer. Just come into the triage. So usually I would go to the hospital that's near my house. However, since he told me to come in, I actually made my way down to where I'm going to actually deliver the baby. So I ended up going down there, and immediately triage was like this. Boom, boom, boom. I was in the room. Here, take this gown. And it was just, big up, to the hospital because I didn't have to wait. I was in so much pain, and I'm glad that I was able to like get into bed. However, I could not get comfortable. I still was in pain. The end all be all was that I ended up, the end all be all was that my fibroids are getting too big. So I have degenerating. The final prognosis was I have a degenerating fibroid. That 10 centimeter fibroid that I told you about before in the last video has basically outgrown its blood supply, which means that now the fibroid is shrinking back down to a size that the blood supply can handle. So in the process of it shrinking, it is extremely, extremely, extremely painful. I'm talking about my blood pressure's going up, my heart rate's going up, the baby's heart rate is going up. It got to the point where they were doing so much testing that they were like, listen, if your heart rate and your blood pressure and the baby's heart rate don't come down, we're going to take the baby out. And at this point, I was 1 day shy of being 28 weeks. So who wants to hear at 28 weeks that your baby is going to be taken from you? Luckily, I was there for 9 hours. Luckily, the medicine they gave me, they gave me my blood pressure medication. They ended up giving me some type of pain medication, which didn't work. And then finally, they ended up giving me Percocets, oxycodone. When they gave me the blood pressure medicine, okay, it was about time for me anyway. When they gave me the first pain medication, did absolutely nothing. When they gave me the oxycodone, I was out like a light switch. The contractions, I didn't even feel them anymore because I was asleep. Which to me, I was like, yo, that's some good medication. But on the flip side to it, what pregnant woman wants to take oxycodone for pain? So they told me to take it for 48 hours. And if my pain, was persistent, then to call them back. I stopped taking it before then because I have a baby that's developing. I don't want to become addicted to it. I don't want the baby to become, I don't think I'm going to become addicted to it, but I don't want the baby to become addicted to it. Even though the pill is like, it's not the normal size. The pill is like the size of like a baby aspirin. However, I don't want to take it. So I stopped taking it, which means that I have been in extreme pain. And I've just been trying to like hold on to it. If it gets worse, I will take the other pill, not the oxycodone, but that's basically it, and Tylenol. The bad thing about the fibroid is that, although that one is shrinking back down, The other ones are still growing. So today is Wednesday. On Monday, I have another ultrasound, and we will find out the sizes now of the other ones at this point, because fibroids I do not recommend. And I wish that the hospital or the doctor's office rather, that I had been seeing before pretty much had listened to me when I said, hey, fibroids, like, they're painful. And not only are they painful, but at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, I wanted them removed before, and they didn't remove them. The only thing they did was an ultrasound and a transvaginal ultrasound, and said, oh, we're just going to keep a watch out for them. But they knew I was trying to get pregnant. So if you knew I was trying to get pregnant, and you knew that the hormones from being pregnant and just the baby growing would make them grow, then why not remove them? I don't know. So now they cannot be removed until after the baby is delivered. And I asked the doctor, hey, while I'm on the table for the C-section, will you guys be able to remove them then? And he stated no, because there's already going to be a tremendous amount of blood at that point. Add on, removing the fibroids, there's going to be another amount of blood. So not to risk it, he said no. So I would actually have to heal from the C-section, go back in months later to get them removed. Yay me. So that's that. It's just a lot. I also asked the doctor, when do they think that I'm going to be delivering? And he said, because I'm high risk, instead of March 2nd, which is my due date, that they're looking more at the beginning of February. So, but of course, if this pain that I have, keeps doing what it does best, then the baby will come before that. So, it's just one thing after another. I do not recommend having a baby while you have fibroids, if I haven't made that clear already. just so we're aware. But in other news, one of my donors recipients reached out to me, and she's actually due, I want to say next week. She's due pretty soon. So she's having a girl. Come to find out, we're actually going to be delivering at the same hospital, which I think is pretty cool. But his other two recipients are having boys. And then he just announced this week that his girlfriend is pregnant, and, he doesn't know what they're having. So I think that's pretty cool. But she and I are going to keep in contact with each other, which I think is pretty dope. She's married, and she said that she won't have she pretty much won't update, the donor or anything. I actually haven't decided if I will or if I won't. As I stated, I'm 39. My donor is 26. So, I foresee him being here a lot longer than me. So, if my daughter wants to have a relationship with him, I'm going to leave that up to him. But, I would at least like for him to know, who she is, or that she exists. So at least that part, he would know, in case this kid comes out of the woodwork, in said future at 18 or whatever the case might be. It won't be like a surprise. So, yeah, that's basically all that's been going on. On the medical side, I'm also dehydrated, so I'm trying to intake fluids, which is hard when you have weight loss surgery, because if I drink, I cannot eat. And they telling me I need to gain weight. which is actually becoming hard because I'm trying to eat, but then that's taken away from me drinking. So I'm trying to make sure that they're, I'm doing a little mix of both. Water, which is, it has to happen because me being dehydrated is not what's up. I don't like needles. I don't know if you can see, but I have track marks, from the various needles that I've been given just over this last week alone. And I have to get more in a couple days. So this is the most I've ever gotten needles for somebody who gets panic attacks when I get needles. So yeah, no fun. I'm also going to be doing non-stress tests next week and then every week after. So next week I actually have 4 appointments. I have a ultrasound, I have a prenatal appointment, I have a neurology because I get headaches every day and I'm trying to avoid taking Tylenol every day. And then I have the non-stress test. So the appointments are coming. So I have the prenatal, maternal fetal appointments every 2 weeks. And I have the ultrasound every 4 weeks. So if I haven't already stated, I am currently 28 weeks right now. So I am currently 28 weeks and I don't know how many days. 4 days. Actually, I'm more than 4 days. I'm 28 weeks. On Friday, in 2 days, I will be 29 weeks. So, yeah, I'm technically 7 months. I'm in my 3rd trimester. And I look forward to what's to come. Every day it's a blessing. Every day is something different. So, other things that I've been dealing with, I've been having swollen feet, swollen ankles. The sciatic nerve pain has not gone away. My belly has definitely gotten bigger. I will add that in here at some point so you guys can see a picture. And yeah, it's just a lot of track pants, t-shirts. If I go out somewhere, then I'm wearing regular clothes, of course, but flip-flops. That's the normal wear outside of my work clothes. So yeah, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. But I hope everybody is well. I know a lot of you have asked me about my registry, so I actually am getting my registry together. I finally went somewhere and actually went and looked at different things. So I'm putting that together. So, I wasn't going to put it out there, but a lot of people asked me to put it out there, so I will put it out there just for that. I will not be having a baby shower because I do not know when the baby's coming. They keep changing it. So I don't want to put out money and then next thing you know, I go into labor. So I will be doing like a sip and see? I think is what it's called. Something after effect. Yeah, I don't know. So that's my life. I hope everybody's well.